We do want to start with some breaking news. Thanks for joining us for your 5 News at 10. I'm Darren Bobb. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history is now over. The House passing a funding bill tonight, sending it to the president who signed it just a few moments ago. Erica Brown is on Capitol Hill now with details.
On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed.
After convening for the first time in nearly 2 months, the House passed a funding bill Wednesday that President Trump signed into law, marking an official end to the government shutdown.
We feel very relieved tonight. The Democrat shutdown is finally over, thanks to House and Senate Republicans who stood together to get the job done. I'm really sad that it took us so long to get here. It was so much pain that had to be endured to get to this point.
The bill funds the government through the end of January, extends funding for SNAP benefits for a full year, and reverses shutdown-related layoffs of federal workers. But the legislation does not include the extension to Affordable Care Act tax credits that Democrats say is critical to lower premiums, leaving many in the party concerned about the cost.
In this country, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, it can't be the case that health care is simply a privilege for the wealthy. We believe as Democrats that health care has to be a right, and a right that's affordable and available to every single American in the United States.
Even with the shutdown over, some uncertainty remains about how soon air travel disruptions caused by the shutdown could come to an end, or when flight restrictions at major travel hubs would be lifted. Air travelers continue to experience flight headaches at travel hubs across the country Wednesday, with hundreds of flights canceled. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Noah Simmons in with us. Although it wasn't as brilliant as it was last night, we still, though, did see some northern lights.
That's right, Darren. Yeah, we did see a little bit out there. Again, it wasn't as good as the conditions that we saw last night, but still some areas got to see it. This is a live look from Poto. Sometimes you can see maybe the northern lights in the horizon, but obviously right now it's pretty hard to see unless you have your night mode on and exposure there on your iPhone and your smartphone there. But overall, the conditions were a little bit less, but still some people saw them out there. The bigger picture we're going to be talking about here over the next few days, though, is just those very warm conditions continuing. Looks like we're going to need a dry weekend here. That wasn't really necessarily the case earlier this week, but those rain chances have actually kind of trended downward here this weekend. And then at times it's going to be a little bit breezy here over the next few days. Nothing too crazy, but you'll definitely notice out there. Temperatures across the board sitting at 44 degrees there in Clarksville, 50 in Ozark, 54 in Van Buren. We're sitting at 53 degrees here in Bentonville. So those cooler temperatures here are going to be slowly cooling off into the 40s for overnight lows. Tomorrow we're going to warm up nicely once again. 74 for the afternoon high there in Northwest Arkansas, 78 in the River Valley. We're going to talk about that warmth as well as what to expect for the weekend.
All right, Noah, thanks. At the Arkansas Capitol today, the state Supreme Court denied a stay on a lower court's order that requires the governor's office to hold that special election in State Senate District 26 sooner than scheduled. It means the order will stay in effect until the Supreme Court rules on the state's appeal to the ruling. Court also denied consolidation of the cases with another special election in Pulaski County facing similar legal action. Court also granted an expedited hearing to the appeal. Meanwhile, the final day for candidates to throw in their names in the 2026 statewide elections was today. In that Senate District 26 race, 2 new candidates entered the field this week. Adam Watson, the founder of a group opposing the Franklin County Prison Project, filed to run as an independent. Businessman Wade Dunn will join the Republican Party, which has 4 others in the race. Early voting, meanwhile, for multiple special elections in the region continues tomorrow. Voters in Ozark are deciding if the city will have a permanent downtown entertainment district. That district will establish boundaries downtown where people can drink alcohol outdoors and inside of businesses. Leaders of the proposal say the plan is all about regulation and better managing an existing drinking culture alongside boosting downtown tourism.
It's about regulation. It's about doing something to improve our city in a way that also honors the culture that we have and honors the way that all of our residents know and love this region.
Not everybody agrees with this, though. A local group says the proposal sends a bad message about the city's priorities. Ozark voters have until Tuesday, of course, to decide on that ballot proposal. New tonight in Northwest Arkansas, a volunteer firefighter in critical condition following a motorcycle crash. Maysville Volunteer Fire Department shared this picture of fireman Colby Amos. Chief says the crash happened in Oklahoma. The department is taking donations and collecting money at its annual chili supper. Also new tonight, investigators in Bentonville say a man is facing disturbing allegations accused of raping a young girl over the course of 5 years. We do want to warn you, though, some of the details are graphic with this story. Wade Green faces a slew of charges, including sexual extortion, concealing birth, and 2 counts of rape. Court documents state the victim told police Green began sexually abusing her in 2020, leading to a pregnancy in 2023. Those documents say Green physically assaulted the girl in an attempt to abort the baby. You can read more details about the investigation on our website at 5newsonline.com. A man is dead, another is behind bars in Johnson County after the shooting we first told you about last night. Arkansas State Police say 68-year-old Kenneth Michaels of Clarksville was found dead at the Coal Hill City Park yesterday afternoon. Investigators say the suspect was seen running away from the area. 30 minutes after the shooting, police took this man, 25-year-old Colton Content, into custody. He now faces a first-degree murder charge. The attorneys for the man accused of killing 2 people at Devil's Den State Park have filed 19 new court filings. We first told you today at 4 that the defense wants the death penalty taken off the table. Andrew McGann is accused of killing Kristen and Clinton Brink at the state park in July. Today's filings cover a wide range of requests, from challenging the death penalty to granting the defense full access to evidence from investigators and complete transcripts of all court proceedings. McCann's counsel has called the death penalty unconstitutional and cruel and unusual punishment. He is set to be back in court on Friday. A mystery in Carroll County could soon be solved thanks to advanced DNA technology. In 2024, a person walking a dog near Black Bass Lake in Eureka Springs found a human skull. Investigators sent it to the state crime lab, but they were not able to extract enough DNA to identify the remains. Well, now the remains, known as Inspiration Doe, are being analyzed by a Texas company called Othram. Othram specializes in forensic genealogy to identify victims. Attorney General Tim Griffin's office is helping fund the testing after local resources ran out.
The Attorney General's office caught wind of what we were doing and offered to finance the rest, which we're very thankful for. Othram has created the DNA sequence, so now it's in their genealogy department.
Othram says it expects to be able to provide an update to investigators, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. New at 10 tonight, a new push to charge cities in Washington County a daily fee for inmates housed in the county jail. It's not sitting very well at all with city leaders and mayors. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer was at tonight's county finance and budget meeting and shows us why some say it's needed for the jail. Others, though, say it would be a big hit to their budgets.
Our budget would be completely destroyed.
From smaller cities like Taneytown,
It'd be over $64,000.
to larger cities like Springdale.
We would go from about $75,000 a year in annual cost to the county to over $1 million.
These mayors say a new daily jail fee would be too much to handle. The ordinance, introduced by Justice of the Peace Willie Lemming, would charge cities a little more than $80 a day per prisoner held in the county jail.
I believe that we need to really start working on this because we've got a big problem down there.
Lemming says the proposal could help fund jail operations and ease overcrowding. Justice Beth Koger says she's not too sure about this idea.
I think it's too early to know that right now, but I want to hear from the cities because it's going to be a financial hardship. But then again, I'm really interested in anything that will result in less people being booked into our jail.
Taneytown Mayor Angela Russell says she worries more criminals could be on the streets if there's a fee.
We don't want to be having to count, well, we've arrested this many, we've got to be careful.
Springdale Mayor Doug Sprouse says the system that's been in place since 2019 is working.
Based on a per capita basis with all the other cities in Washington County, to split up whatever shortfall is projected and then pay our portion of that.
And he says that money has to be used for daily operations, not for expansion.
If the county's interested in creating more revenue to build a jail, then they need to go to the voters and get a bond issue passed.
In Washington County, covering news where you live, Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
The ordinance was withdrawn tonight after a very lengthy discussion.